thanks for letting me get another one in. Media's been taking a lot of shots at you lately using anonymous sources. And this kind of offends me as a reporter that these guys that are talking crap about you aren't putting their name on it. Would you just like to comment on that and maybe talk about the trip you just took?
So it's interesting when, and I think the rise of the anonymous sources, what it does, it allows them just to recycle gossip, or it allows them to do a pre-cooked narrative that they don't have the goods for. So they can wrap it up in an anonymous source because they couldn't prove it to the reader if they actually had to identify evidence. And so it's a way to create narratives and elevate narrative over fact. But here's the problem. Look, people attack me all the time. I get out of bed, I roll out of bed in the morning, the media's having a spasm, the left's having a spasm. That's fine. Honestly, it just shows you that you're over the target. I mean, if you have New York media outlets worried about me in Florida, they're not doing that for their health. They understand that what we're doing in Florida, we represent a threat to leftism in this country because we're defeating leftism in the state of Florida. And so they see that, so they want to go. But I think what ends up happening is the reason why these outlets are not trusted anymore is because people see what they're doing. And so as they embrace these practices more and more, the trust of people has gone down. So they're trying to generate clicks, they're trying to do the narrative, but the problem is most people now just dismiss it. They'll see some headline, oh, anonymous source. We know what these guys are up to. We know what they're doing. And I remember one of the guys that used to moderate the presidential debates, Jim Lara, he was at PBS, and he had these rules for journalism. And one of the rules he said is you do not use anonymous sources except in like really extreme situations. So for example, I mean, if there was like real serious malfeasance in government and someone, provided information and they wanted their identity, maybe you can say to expose that for the good of the public, you do. But you do not launder anonymous sources to smear somebody. If somebody's going to go after you, you should, as a journalist, you should demand they put their name to that. And if they're not willing to put their name to the accusation, then you would never run with it, ever, if you cared about actual standards. But I think those standards have been chucked aside. I think some of it's a race for clicks, but some of it is just, you've seen a lot of the legacy outlets transform from, they always had a liberal bias, but now real active partisans in terms of trying to pursue an agenda. And those are choices that people can make, but I think the upshot of the choice is nobody trusts these people anymore. Everybody knows when they see this stuff, they know someone's trying to feed them some type of narrative. They're trying to sell you a bill of goods. And so in that sense, it's like as much as they try to recycle all this and try to smear me, I know that most people look at it and they just reject it, and it's not something that they're putting much weight into. So hopefully, I just think facts matter. I think the truth matters, and I don't think we can govern our society based on manufactured narratives. And I think that we've got to be grounded in truth. All right, thank you all for coming. So good to see everybody. Take care.